little strangeness in some of these radios. I've been going through the old Holly Bros and upgrading their firmware or making their firmware match. One of the things I saw was when I took one pair of the CUAV radios and upgraded it to this firmware, the ECC and op resyn was removed from it. And right now, this is actually a Holly Bro on this side of the connection, and this is one of those CUAV radios on the Skyhunter on this side. And I think it's because they copy the data over. This transmit power was bumped from 14. This is actually the Holly Bro. I should talk about this one over here. It was bumped from 14 to 20. I think that's up to full power, in my humble opinion, based on what I see in the documentation. So this is a CAUV with SIK 2.1, and this is a Holly Bro. They connect well. If you click connect, they come up really well. Start passing data. I already got my battery voltage from the platform, my SAC count, 3D fix on the GPS. But I thought it was strange that when the CUAVs were upgraded by Mission Planner to version 2.1, that it knocked out the ECC and op resyn. That may vary from platform to platform and be a function of Mission Planner. Guess I should try and see what Q Ground Control wants to do with one of those radios. So I guess I'll shut this down. Shut the Skyhunter side down. Put one of the CAUV radios. Well, no. I'll use one that I put the 2.1 on, not the one that's still 190. Hook it to the platform. Then we'll see what Q Ground Control wants to do with that radio for kicks and grins. And I think it gets its information from a different source, but we'll see here. Okay. That's strange. It's reading in parameters up here. I haven't done anything about firmware yet. Huh. Oh, it connected. I forgot to turn off the Skyhunter. Never mind. Man, it's early in the day for me. I turned I turned off the Skyhunter and it quit trying to communicate. So we'll try that again. I'm just going to bring that up from scratch again. Now then, firmware. Please unplug your radio. I did. We'll plug it back in. And we'll see what it thinks that radio is and what it wants to do with it, because it tells us right on the screen. Yep. Putting it into command mode. Rebooting in bootloader mode. Board ID 78. Downloading firmware from the same place. Amazon, AWS.com. That tickles me. I guess they do. Guess I could write down that address and go in and see what it is in a browser. Can I copy it? Copy. Upgrade complete of the radio. It doesn't tell me what it did to it. So I can come back over here in Mission Planner. And hopefully see what it did to it. Yep. It put the RFD 2.0 flavor back on it. And I don't know what that is. I don't think I'm going to be able to look at this address. It did copy. Huh. I guess that was calling a specific file. Let's go back and take the specific file off the end of it. See if we can see anything there. Nope. Let's open. This is the directory on that. And they get the file right here, it looks like. Here's some more information. Well, it was a PDF. Wow. Well, it wouldn't let me open that PDF. This is in my local machine, by the way, so I think it pulled all of this over here. Oh well. Anyway, I'll investigate that later. See if I turn the Sky Hunter back on. I bet this will still connect. Now, I had trouble connecting the 1.9 version and a 2.x version, but I have been able in the past to connect. If it's on any flavor of the 2.x version, it seems to connect with another that's on 2.x. Yep. See, this is RFD SIK 2.0, and this is 2.1. Other than that, everything is the same. If we connect, I connect a lot, don't I? If we connect, you see, it works. It's already transferred a lot of the data, and it's reading in perimeters. So that's a little unusual. Guess when I get it outside, it turned out to be rainy today. Dang it. I have thought about taking the Sky Hunter up in the upper part of the house and putting some wood and floors and walls and stuff between me and the Sky Hunter and see what kind of how it works, but I haven't done that yet. So I'm going to put all of them on the SIK 2.1. I don't know if they all share information about this. And 2.1's a later version, should be a later version with more things in it than 2.0. But I can go back right now and reflash the CUAV radio that's on the ground control station, so to speak. It is my bench computer, but a computer for a ground control station is a computer. I use a Toshiba notebook, really, really old. One of the really bad points of my equipment is the age of my Toshiba for ground control station in the field. That really needs upgrading bad. So this is the CUAV radio flashed back to the SIK 2.1. Let's see, if you load settings right here right now, it should show that SIK 2.1. So now they agree on both sides. If I come out here and click connect again, doesn't seem to be much difference in them. Yeah, they still work. After they finish reading in all the parameters, I bet the link quality and the stats up here will show basically 100% connection. So while it's raining outside today, I was just going through the old Holly Bros and trying to move them up to that version of the software to see if they started working. They really didn't change them much. This is going to show 100%, whereas this doesn't. And 1.8, 1.7K bytes per second. It's pretty good. I look for 1.5 or above. Well, kicks and grins. Let's do this. We'll go back to our radios. And we'll, for kicks and grins, change the op resend. Even though we've got a this is actually 2 of the CUAVs. Yeah. Let me check again. Yeah, it's a CAUV on both sides. So let's click ECC, op resend, and click copy to remote. Look at that. It copied the ECC, but it didn't copy the op resend. I'm going to go ahead and check that manually and click save settings. Man, electronics is just wacky sometimes. And it's doing the command down here for that, and it says it's done. I'll load the settings again. Just for kicks and grins, I'm going to go ahead and cycle. And they did stay. Op resend and ECC stayed. I'm going to cycle the Sky Hunter. And then I'm going to cycle the radio on the ground station. And reload my settings again real quick. Make sure everything's still copacetic. It should be. And again, when I upgraded the CAUV radio with this function, it set this to 20, and of course that was copied to here. I have no way of really telling. Connect. I have no way of really telling what power output these radios are putting out. I do have a little RF power meter. I might put it on one of the Holly Bros. I wouldn't complain so much if they were blown up as I would if the CAUVs got blown up. But I don't think it's going to tell me much. But I will try it later with a Holly Bro. My little power meter doesn't take a lot of power output, but I do have an attenuator for it. 1 watt might blow it up. So again, I don't see any great difference here. I can't click on the stats up here yet until this finishes. Well, I can if I click cancel, but I don't want to do that. There we go. Now we'll look at them. Does show some lost packets now. And the data transfer is about the same. I just really, like I say, haven't seen a lot of differences in those. Yeah, there's more drop packets now. And that could be, whoa, link quality dropped down to 40% and 37% there for a while. Now it's back to 100. This is staying well. Okay. That could be easily because the ECC and op resend causes packets to be resent. They'll be viewed as lost packets. This is still staying pretty high along with this. This is waffling around here, and I think that's because of this and this. If I go back to, if I can get to it quickly, this video is just getting long. If I can get back real quick to the, what are you doing to me, machine? Well, doesn't want to open right now. I'm going to try to get back to my Arduino documentation and look at that. Oh well, I can open this. Get back to this. Go into one of these. SIK, advanced configuration. Okay. In my humble opinion, what's going on there? We can get to that ECC. That's an error correcting type of code, and what it is, as it says right here. Well, Here we go. 16-bit cyclic redundancy check to detect transmission errors. And what that's going on, oh, that's if it's not turned on. Okay, if you enable ECC, then the data rate you can support is halved. The ECC system doubles the size of the data sent by the radio. It's worth it, however, as the bit error rate will drop dramatically and you're likely to get much more reliable link at longer ranges. It's not going to make the range longer. They're just saying the link will be more reliable. Yes, there's some error correction going on there, but you're going to transfer data at half the speed. So that's what's going on here. When you look here and you see this packet lost, this and this jumping around with ECC on, that's because there's some retries going on, some resending of data. And therefore this link quality down here is lower, just like this is lower. So on the face of it, I can't see how that helps. In practice in the field, it may do exactly what it says. Although there's less data going back and forth, the quality of the data is better. I'm going to go ahead and uncheck both of these and click copy to remote. And again, it does the ECC, but it doesn't change the op resend. Save those settings. That should be, there we go. And they are back the way they were. We'll connect again. Now then, this reports a link quality that's a little higher. But is there garbage data coming over? 6.5 dozen to the other. So I have, like I say, in the past on the verticals played with all of this, and theoretically I know it should be better with error correction or more reliable, more in tune data. This little error pops up too. I have to look that one up. I've been kind of ignoring that because that's just our due. So a lot of this, you have to get it out in a field, in practice, get it flying, and play with these parameters and see what happens. I can't tell from the documentation, and I can't tell from having these two little telemetry radios so close to each other in the basement here. So now there's no packet loss to speak of. There may be in a second. But I would consider that packet loss would be retries. There's a little, this doesn't seem to be dropping this far, and this seems to be staying the same, 1.5 to 1.7. Still a Mavlink 2 connection. So again, I'm not going to be able to ascertain a whole lot from this here. I will play with it in the field. So Tuesdays is generally my World of Warcraft day when a new week pops, and I spend most of the day I have a high-level World of Warcraft character I keep running, and if I run him on Tuesdays and get most everything done for the week, the other 6 days I don't have to utilize much time for it to keep the character high level. That won't be available till 6 o'clock tonight because they're putting out a whole new version, which will be good. It's rainy outside, so I can't take this stuff outside to play with it. So I just decided to update all my radios to the SIK 2.1 here and do a little playing, and I thought I would share it with you guys, but I'm not so sure this is a productive video. It's basically looking at parameters and saying, I don't know if they work as advertised, which could be true and not true. So we'll just take this whole video with a grain of salt. And I'm going to cut it off for now. Finish upgrading the firmware on all these radios so they're the same except for one pair of CAUV that I'm going to leave down on the 1.9 flavor so I can compare two of those radios from the factory versus two of those radios upgraded in Mission Planner. And I'm going to wait to go out into the field. Well, I have to wait to go out in the field to check that ranging. All right. Have a good one, everyone. Thank you so much.